Ladies and gentlemen, the ImAllexx's situation just continues to get worse. I know 2 days ago you guys remember when Alice Hez, who was one of Alex's ex-girlfriends, ended up dropping this 82-page bombshell of allegations with videos, with screenshots, with all kinds of proof, enough to put this guy in a prison cell or at least end his career here on YouTube and on the internet. And it just continues to get worse as more of his past friends and coworkers and even an ex-girlfriend would also drop their horrific experiences with Alex. So let's dive right in and catch you guys up. Now, you guys should know by now that I'm not a huge fan of the YouTube drama subreddit. I think that a lot of the complaints on it, a lot of the threads are just kind of people grasping for straws and accusing people of some pretty heinous things. But in this case, we already know Alex is kind of a douchebag. So we're going to take a look at some of the people who have decided to come out against Alex and drop their videos. We have this nice little archive, a mega thread of all of the videos and texts and Google Drive documents, everything that was saved and re-uploaded for your guys' convenience. But we also have a list of all the people who have come out. This includes iNabber, Memeulous, Jake Has, WillNe, Alex McIntyre, Rachel Oates, MiaXMon, kinganiii, ItalianBach, and Harry Irvine, and that is as of a day ago. So these are the people who have come out. One of the more notable figures in this whole ordeal is this girl by the name of Annie, or King Annie on X. Mind you, she is one of the people who collaborated with Alex to drop these allegations against this other YouTuber by the name of Slazo. I'm going to link a 22-minute video by Turkey Tom down below that kind of catches you up on that, because gotta be real with you, I wasn't a part of this whole commentary thing when all that happened. Anyways, Annie would drop this Google Doc explaining everything that happened with her and with Alex. Mind you, this one is only 2 pages compared to the 82 that Alice dropped, so I guess I can just read this for you guys. Annie says, "My experience with ImAllexx's. Though we never confirmed it to the public because I personally like keeping my relationships private, I dated Alex from June 2017 till March 2018. It was the most toxic relationship I've ever been in, and I was lucky to get out of it when I did. When we were dating, though he was from England and I lived in America, we were pretty much never apart for longer than a week. We stayed in Europe for a couple months, then went to America for 6 months. He couldn't stay 6 months straight due to visa implications, so he stayed 3 months, flew back to England for a few days, then came back to America for another 3 months. After this 6 months was over and he couldn't come to America again for a while due to visa requirements, we spent some time away from each other, and during that time, with help of my friends, I came to the realization that I was in the worst and most toxic relationship I had ever been in, and I had to get out. It started out great, as they always do, the honeymoon phase as they call it. But as time went on, things just got worse and worse. I was fortunate to get out when I did, but reading all the new information that's come out, he's clearly gotten worse. During the relationship, he made me feel insane, like I wasn't myself anymore. It never felt like he listened to me. I always felt belittled and inferior. Whenever we recorded videos together, he would constantly talk over me and never let me have my moment. Most of the time, when I had problems, he always somehow made it about himself or talked about his own issues. He would get stressed over his YouTube channel constantly and complain about uploading, as if it was the hardest job on the planet and no one had it harder than him. His classic line was, "I can't catch a freaking break." If we ever had a disagreement, he would always sometimes allude to the possibility of blanking himself over minor conflicts as a threat, so I couldn't continue with the conversation. It was nearly impossible to give him any kind of criticism, because it was like adding to the pile of minor issues that he had already blown far out of proportion in his head. Another thing he did was spin his own narrative and twist words. He didn't just do this in the relationship, but he did it in his work and with his friends. It was the main reason why many people stopped talking to him, because we started to realize that when there was even the smallest amount of drama and he heard about it, he would make sure to involve himself, even if the subject had absolutely nothing to do with him, and he would just make everything so much worse. For example, the Slazo situation. Though it was never said in the original statements by Shay, he somehow came to the conclusion that it was R word, and everyone else got the blame for saying his words. Somehow the situation went from being guilty of being a bad boyfriend to all of a sudden he's a, abuser, sexually. This was the final nail in the coffin, and I cut all contact with him after that. During our relationship, I bought him and I matching Alex and Annie bracelets for Valentine's Day because I was like, oh neat, a company with both our names. You can see him pressing the heart on the bracelet to his lips in his Back to Nothing video, which he has since taken down from his channel. And then there's a archive link of the video. I would start at 4 minutes. I'll also attach the video here in case that link gets removed. This video was released as a response to me breaking up with him. He uploaded this video after I stopped talking to him as a way of trying to guilt me into replying to him. He did to me what he has done in his relationship with Alice, where he would fly off the handle and get mad, then act all apologetic and sad and try to get me to feel sorry for him and forgive everything he had said and done. Lastly, the only time he ever laid a finger on me was when he grabbed me as I was trying to run away from a conflict. We were trying to record a YouTube video together and he was getting frustrated at having to restart the recording multiple times. He started shouting and beating his fist on the table, even going as far as to break his microphone. I was scared, so I got up to leave the room, which is when he grabbed my arm to physically stop me. I remember saying, "You grabbed my arm," several times in shock, as if to say, who the F would ever grab someone like that? Once again, I was fortunate that that was the only time something like that ever happened. I got out before it got even worse, as it clearly has with the new information that's come out. It saddens me that this has all come this far. I wished Alice the best privately, and it breaks my heart to have seen all the things she had gone through. I hope Alice's and my stories show you what he was really like behind the scenes. If you're in an abusive relationship, please get out now. You can't fix them. Now this situation is interesting. If you go onto Annie's Twitter, thread about this entire thing, you will see a lot of comments relating to the whole Slazo allegations and almost, I wouldn't say ratioing her, but pretty damn close. Like Waby Websurf here says, LMAO, you helped spread those Slazo allegations. Don't try to slink out of that. You heard a rumor, did zero vetting and went with it. Take some accountability for what happened. You co-signed that full story. This guy Cam says, didn't the two of you collaborate on accusing Slazo? And all of this is just about Slazo, and a lot of people are kind of saying like she's making this entire situation about herself, which I mean, I'm glad that she has come forward with her own story about it, but it does seem a little convenient. If Alex, was such a horrible person and all of this, I believe she definitely should have said something before and not after, but this kind of happens, when it comes to like the Me Too movement and all these different types of allegations, people, they kind of get the courage to finally speak out when someone else does it. So I can't really be too mad at her for it. But yeah, the whole Slazo situation, from my little bit of research, does seem extremely goofy on her part and Alex's part, but neither of them will have to worry about it. I don't think she's much of a content creator, and Alex probably won't be any longer after he ends up in a jail cell. So now I want to give a shout out to this person named Reality Telly, aka Laura on X. Pretty small account, but they have archived the different screenshots and I guess apologies, and also people corroborating with the story of Alice with their experience with ImAllexx's. We have this one by Memeulous, says, just to follow up, Alex and I lived together between 2018 and 2022. They started dating in 2023. I've only ever seen him in person 2 or 3 times since moving out. I don't socialize much at all in the typical UK YouTube circles, especially in the last couple of years. I only found out about the situation in general on April 2nd of this year when a fellow content creator brought it up to me in a call when I suggested a joint recording between us and him. He said he didn't know any of the specifics or what was even being alleged, just that it was bad. All I had heard prior to this is that they argued frequently. A couple of weeks later, Alice started posting TikToks alluding to the situation. It wasn't until just after that I got a bit more clarity when I was out for dinner with another creator and they brought up the fact Alice had briefly published some text messages from him on TikTok before deleting them. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know just how bad it was until I went over all the information when it was made made public. I don't want to take attention away from the victim, but I think it's important I clarify my perspective and timeline of events. Please send your support to Alice. So as we can see, Alex is cooked, alright? Someone threw that little guy, that little goblin on the grill. Bro is getting heated up because all of his friends, anyone who's even associated with the poor guy, he's not really poor in this situation, but the fact that he's getting cooked is pretty funny. But anyone who knows the guy is pretty much disavowing themselves from him, saying, yeah, we might have worked together, I might have known him for a few years, but, you know, we ain't rocking with it. We smoking that Alex pack together, pretty much, right? WillNe would say, Alex, firstly, I really hope Alice is doing well and commend her massively for having the courage to get that out there. As Mia mentioned, there were rumors of his behavior earlier last year. Myself and a few others haven't had contact with him since, or been his friend for even longer. With that being said, the severity of the abuse that Alice published was far worse than anything I had heard being discussed. That Google Drive is freaking abhorrent, and what he put her through is inexcusable. ItalianBach or ItalianBach would say, I have read Alice's statement about Alex, and I am absolutely disgusted by what I have seen and read. What he has done is inexcusable and unacceptable. I didn't know Alex outside of a few recordings we did a while ago and had no idea what was going on in his private life. Alice deserves all of the support in the world right now. It's an incredibly brave thing she has done, and I truly hope she is doing okay. MiaXMon would also say, I'm Alex. This is something I have been aware of since May of last year, and it is something that, in my opinion, is well known throughout the industry. I can't speak for people who aren't in our group or who I don't see regularly, but the openness at which this was discussed amongst people last year. I genuinely find it hard to believe that creators close to Alex had no idea this was going on. When I found out, Alex and I were signed to the same talent agency. I immediately made them aware of the accusations and put pressure on them to drop him, which they did. This was in June 2023. From the documents in the drive, it looks like things escalated even further from what I was aware of. Emotional abuse, threats of violence, use of racial slurs, which is so heartbreaking. I don't know Alice personally, but sending her so much love and support. Then we have 5 screenshots from iNabber, who says, I should say, yeah, I know about the situation, and I hope you all send nothing but support to Alice. Genuinely some of the most horrific I've ever read. I cannot explain how brave it is to come out and speak about this stuff, especially considering how long it seemed to have been going on. Really trying not to come in here with the eyes and make it about me, as this is about Alice, and she deserves all the support possible. But yeah, I should just say, of course, I didn't know about this until recently. I wasn't even aware the two had fully broken up until April. That's how in the dark I was on this. I've very much been in the dark on all of this until recently, which makes it feel worse. The level of what was said in the document about him is just indescribable, just absolutely horrific. The situation makes me feel genuinely ill, but also angry, but I would prefer to keep those personal thoughts private for now, as this is about Alice, not me. For frick's sake. Also aware that I misspelled document in that last post, but yeah, my head is naturally spinning a bit with this. Don't really think words can describe how I'm feeling about what I read in that doc, so I will say please just be kind to Alice. Just send your support and be kind to her. This is so screwed up, and I wish nothing but the best to her. I honestly feel like I should, but I also want to say more, but I genuinely don't know what to write. I have like a million thoughts. I know this seems like a very unprofessional way to respond to this too, as it more feels like I'm venting about it, but I'm not going to give some scripted PR document. This is one of the most effed up situations I've ever seen. But for now, as I don't want to take away from the actual story in any way, I will say support Alice. Do not be intrusive and send her a million questions. I doubt she needs that crap right now. Sorry if this has been rambly, this is a painful situation. Jake Baz would post, Hi all, I've seen the situation. Please support Alice and her post as it's absolutely vile and disgusting. The videos alone, it's genuinely horrifying. As iNabber has said, we were left in the dark around his relationship and lied to, only finding out they'd broken up 5 months later. Alice's story is one of the worst things I've seen for manipulation and disgusting, consistent actions. I hope Alice has time and space to heal from this. Give her time. I'm hurt by this. Please support victims. Support Alice's bravery to come out with her story. She really needs it. And I guess right about here we can wrap the video up. The allegations are just going to keep coming out, and I will do my best to cover all of the drama. If anything super crazy comes out, if any more like first-hand experiences with Alex's abuse and manipulation and the evil, horrific ways that he talks to women and other partners, perhaps, I will, of course, keep you guys updated on that. Or if maybe he ends up coming out and dropping some stupid apology, playing a ukulele or something, bad time for jokes, but that's what I do. Anyways, I hope you guys were able to get yourselves caught up. As always, I do implore you to, do your own research, check out the YouTube drama subreddit, as much as I hate to say that. Just kind of keep yourselves in the loop. Go support Alice on all her platforms. She streams, she makes TikToks, she cosplays. So just go show some love, be nice, of course. Don't go harass or, spam her with questions and all this other stuff, but just go show some love and let her know, like, the community's here for her. If you ever want to come and do some commentary with your boy, if you ever want to do some commentary with anything, just go ahead and, get on that YouTube grind, because we believe in you, Alice, all right? Don't let that clown shoe tell you anything different. And to everyone who's speaking out, I guess, thank you guys for, coming out in support of Alice against someone who used to be your friend, who used to be a coworker. And anyone else out there, just thanks for coming by, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.